Alright, we're going to do a quick highlight video of Flyover Silver Creek in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. Had a pretty good start here, as I normally do. Mark here is looking pretty strong too as well, in front of me. So, good start to the race. Eventually we get through this wooded part, and when we get through the wooded part, it opens up to a long finishing stretch. The guy off the front here, he was going real hard. He was at the point where I was like, he's going to blow up or he's in the wrong field. There's no way. So, here I follow Dustin's wheel. It's decent enough to be in a wheel here because of the headwind here, cross headwind. Then you get to the flyover. Did pretty all right in the flyover. And then, again, I was kind of got gapped off right here. So, unfortunately, that happened. I catch back up to Dustin. And, again, I'm kind of going a little hot. And this section right here, you're going to see later, if you're going too hot, that's going to be problematic. Here we go up this hill. We were going way slower than I wanted to go up this hill. I want to come into it with a ton of speed so I can get as high up as I could. And so now I'm grinding away. Dustin, unfortunately, didn't have enough speed either. And then that's how this first hill played out. Finally start my Garmin there. I don't know what's going on. So I started here. And you can see the power is actually kind of crazy throughout this race. I've had one of the highest powers of any race. So here you can see I want to catch back up to Dustin, but there's a little slick spot, and I just turned my wheel a little too much, and it was dewy. There's dew in the morning, and it was wet, and I just took the wrong angle, so really hurt my shoulder there. Kind of shake it out a little here, making sure I'm still good to race. Figured it was all right. I didn't break a collarbone because I could move it, so I continued racing. Now, this section, I could have probably been on the bike a little longer and then dismounted. I saw Nate do it in the 3-4 race, some videos of him. Beautiful race course, though, right? I mean, you're at Michigan. So I was losing some time there, and so eventually we're going to fast forward a little bit here. I catch up to Mark, pass him, and then this flyover, I was like unclipping here, like too early, and then swinging around. Later in the race, I realized that you could take another pedal stroke or two and then unclip. So that was a lesson learned there. And you clip it. If you're good at clipping in, you can hit that pretty all right. Now this I was kind of hitting too fast. So if you come into things too fast, you got to be really careful. Here you can see I take a little bit more of an inside line there, and somebody else took out a ton of tape there. So luckily that wasn't me. Now this gravel section, I'm not a big fan of gravel lately. It's really slipping me out, so I find all the grass I can instead of slip on some gravel. It's been really important for me lately is just to avoid some gravel. This section had a decent amount of roots. You just had to kind of pick the right line to avoid as many as you could, and you could actually kind of fly through there pretty quickly. Again, here we are on the lake, and I was just kind of losing a good amount of spots into the lake, I'd be trying to keep my pace up, but a lot of people were just running around me in the sand. So I try to stick to Aaron's wheel here. And then we get about here, and he puts a big effort in. And it was just enough to get a little bit of a gap, and that unfortunately grew a little bit more and more. Unfortunately, this little up and down section I was kind of having difficulty with, whether it was just feeling like I was flying out of my seat or getting out of the bike and putting the power down. So here I take a little bit of a different line, take it a little bit slower. It was safer, but this course is also pretty, right? There's some bridge, and again you hit Lake Michigan where it's pretty picturesque views. Fortunately, again, I lose some spots in the sand there running, and then here we go. This is what happens when, any race, right? You got to be careful. I crashed earlier. This guy in front of me crashes. And so you're going to see later that we actually catch up to 3rd and 4th place pretty quickly. Here again, I think I still unclipped, but I was moving along pretty quickly compared to unclipping early there. Here you can see I take a ton more speed up into this hill, and that brings me way further up the hill before I had to put down a lot of power. But like we were saying, right, like people crash. This guy, he says something like, you like that crash? So here you can see, again, look at this is 3rd and 4th. And I don't know if they slipped up, but it's just kind of a testament to cross where, like, someone can slip up, you can crash. As long as you're back on the power and back on it, you can potentially come back and catch up. Now, unfortunately, that's not the case here, but I had a really good race, and I really enjoy this course. So thanks for watching. We're going to have a couple more of these videos coming up here. Please subscribe, and you'll see them all.